Hello YouTubers, it's Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly video, and this week was an absolutely excellent week for diecast. Mainly I got a huge package in the mail from SC Diecast, which contained 2 sealed inners from 2018 Auto World Premium Release 3, and then I got 3 Ultra Reds in that box as well. With some other goodies as well. I did a video on the Auto World already. I'm not going to open these in this video because I got enough to show you. But once I complete this series, I will open them all. But these are the 3 Ultra Reds out of the 6 that I got. If you want to check out that video, just go back a few days or whatever. I think I filmed that on either Monday or Tuesday this last week. Today is Thursday. Of course, the video that you're watching is going to be released on Saturday. It's kind of how I usually do it. But anyway, got those 3 Ultra Reds and both sets and some other stuff, which I'm going to show you. Well, actually, let's just do that right now. So, Best of Matchbox series. This series never hit my area at all. Just never hit it. It was never in stores, period. Just never there. And I'm still missing one from the series. There was only 5 released in it. So here's the Bentley right here. And we're going to open up these 4 out of the 5 cars that I got. So the Bentley, the Alfa Romeo right there in white, the Dodge Magnum Police, and the 89 Chevy Blazer, which apparently is an homage to Stranger Things. Pretty cool. So those, the only one I'm missing, I think, is the Porsche 914 in red. So don't have that one. Still need that one. So hopefully I'll be able to find that at some point. All right. So oh yeah, and one other item from the SC Diecast box was this right here. This 80s muscle. This is pretty cool. So this Cutlass, so they released, this is Muscle Cars USA, but I believe, okay, so this is 2018 release 3, and this car is available in a straight pack, I believe, so that's why they got just a straight pack of just these cars. So there is a version B of this, but this is pretty cool to get, so glad to have that. We're going to open up that in the second segment. So we'll open up those Matchbox. We'll open up that Johnny. Let's see here. I did get an Ultra Red from SKDC_Murder on Instagram. Brian, thank you very much, bud. This completes my Premium 2017 Premium Release 2. So I'm not going to open up this in the second segment either. But this series is complete, and I will open it up in a video that I will likely film this upcoming week, which will be the entire 2017 Release 2, including the Ultra Reds. So I'll do those kind of in a separate vid, and we'll take care of that then. Let's see here. I'm kind of going out of order of how I planned, but let's see. Oh, rummage sale find. Picked up this for $2. Austin Powers. I just wanted it because it's an E-Type Jag, and I just really wanted a Johnny Lightning version of that, so we're going to open up that in the second segment. And then I also picked up this. This is a Hot Wheels case. It's a vintage case. I think it's from, the copyright date is 1980. It's in really good shape. I love these old cases, especially when the trays are still in there. I don't know for sure if those are the original trays from the case. I couldn't tell you for sure, but trays are in there, so that is a pretty awesome little find. So it was only like $2, so that's a score. All right, so found that, and let's see here. Then I did make one eBay purchase, and it's odd. It's this 2005, well, no, it's not a 2005. It is a Ford GT from Johnny Lightning, and it's a variation that I did not have. The weird thing about this is the Collector Club exclusive. Okay. but it says right on it it's a 2005 Ford Mustang GT, but it's not a Mustang, obviously. It is a Ford GT. So either the card is an error, I just don't know. It's got a number on the bottom too, 171, so I don't know if these were limited. Well, I can't really trust the packaging because I don't know for sure what is the deal there. And there's nothing else to kind of tell you what the car was supposed to be. And I think when I looked this up on Johnny Lightning, or Wyatt's JL Index or whatever it is, .net, which is the best source for Johnny Lightning to look that up. I can't tell, but I think this was supposed to be in some other release, this Ford GT. Either way, it's a variation of Ford GT I didn't have, and I'm trying to collect all of them, so I'm glad to add it to the collection, and we'll open up this. It looks like it's in like a Protecto, but it is sealed. It's crimped together on this side, so you have to cut this off, and then it becomes like a Protecto. So anyway, we're going to open up that. So that's that, and then I did also make a trade with somebody on Facebook, and I got 2 Ultra Reds, both of these Trans Ams, and both of ones I did not have, so that's pretty cool. We got this one from Release 5, Premium. This is the non-Walmart exclusive, so it does not have the bird on the hood. And it's from the version A/version B. And then this one from 2018 Release 2. So I believe I only need one more in 2018 Release 2, and that is the Ford Mustang Mach 1. And then I will have all of Release 2. So I'm just missing that one car, and then I'll have collected all of those. So just need that guy, and then that series will be complete, and I'll be able to do a video on those. But we are going to open both of these. I'll open both of these in the second segment of the video. I still actually need 2 more variations of this car from Release 5. There is the Walmart exclusive variation, and then there is also the C and D version, which I know Auto World's confusing, guys. And one of these days I'm going to do a video on how the series have changed over the years, and how Ultra Reds have changed and whatnot, and what's what with each series. But that'll come down the road. Anyway, there's 3 different variations of this. This is the A and B version. There is also a Walmart exclusive of the A and B version that has the Firebird on the hood. And then there is a C and D version, which instead of having like yellow Trans Am logos on here, it has like a brownish Trans Am logo. So whatever. We're going to open up this one, and we're going to open up this one as well in the second segment. So we will be opening a couple Ultra Reds. I'm not saving it all for later. And then stuff I actually found in the store. Didn't find any chases, but I did find, now this was really surprising. I found at a Meijer, this is Premium Auto World Release 1. So the first release of Auto World. Both of these are doubles, so I'm not going to open them up. But I could not leave that black caddy behind, and then I just decided, you know what, I'm going to pick up that green Mustang as well. So I know they produced a lot of this series. It just was really weird to see. I mean, these cards are brand new, like brand new. So I kind of want to open one up to see what the production date on this, just to see if there's some fishy stuff going on where they're like re-releasing this series. Just to kind of fill in the gaps in between series at stores, which is a possibility, but I'm not gonna do it because I just don't. There's no reason. I have these, both of these I have loose, and I just don't want to open them up. So because I'm hoarding that kind of stuff. So this will go into the vault, the Auto World vault, which is growing, and just glad to get another black caddy. You can't leave that behind. You just can't. And then this Mustang is just so cool too. There was a Firebird in that series, and it was an Ultra Red, but I wasn't the first to the case since somebody else got it, which is okay because I already have it. But either way, congrats, Jeremy, if you're watching. You scored it. Good job for you. And that was his first Ultra Red ever. And that's a pretty good one to get and be the Firebird that was in that series. All right. Another thing I found at that same Meijer was some new Matchbox, and this is what was left on the pegs that I wanted. There's the BMW i8, the Camaro convertible, and the Mercedes-Benz AMG 6x6. which we will pop open all 3 of these in the second segment of the video and just take a quick look at them. Matchbox is still doing a great job on their licensed models. The problem is it's still tough for me to find it in stores in my area. Like, I keep getting old recycled cases. Like, very rarely do I see new stuff. If I do, it's sporadic. They get one case at 24, and then it never appears again, and then we're back to old stuff. It's just the distribution is so wackadoodle on that stuff. So I don't know what you're doing, Mattel, with that, but it's just, it's not reliable what you're going to find where and what stores. It's like completely random, I guess. And it seems like we get stuck on like one case forever, and then these newer ones are just kind of hard to find. So, and I don't even know how to keep up with this. I don't even know, I'm not even kept up with this. So I don't know what case letter this is from at all. And I don't even know if that's easy to tell on the back of a Matchbox card. Somebody let me know in the comments, and we'll figure that out. All right, so, and then another one. This is another Meyer purchase. This is the New York City Police Department, New York City, New York, 1987 GMC Vandura from Hot Pursuit Series 28. It's that guy right there. It's Van, right? I'm getting all the Vandura castings, and I think I'm caught up. So I think I have every variation of it so far, and this keeps me complete. Obviously not all the Green Machines, and I'm not going after all the Green Machines. Not going to do it. But the standard releases, yes, I'm going to do that. You guys may have figured out by now, if you're new to this channel, I'm not a chase collector. I collect, you know, I collect what I like. Do I like scoring chases in the wild? Absolutely. They're great. They're great trade bait. And if it's an ultra red, obviously it's staying in my collection. Occasionally some other ones stay in my collection too. But as far as Green Machines go, I like green body Green Machines, but the Green Machines with the green tires, green base and stuff like that, I'm just not super into that, you know, a chase for chase sake. You know, I guess we'll put it that way. If the chase enhances the look of the vehicle and I think it looks really cool, then I want to keep it. If it doesn't look that cool and it's just a chase because it's a chase because it has some wackadoodle colored whatever, then, you know, whatever. That's why, I'm sorry to get off on a tangent, these red tires on these Auto World Ultra Reds kind of irritate me just a little bit, because no real cars have red tires. And Auto World's, I like Auto World because of the realism of the vehicles and the quality that they put out, not because they put out some crazy looking red tires. Okay, that's my 2 cents. Am I still going to try to get them all to complete the series because I've been completing Auto World? Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go after them. If I find them, I'm gonna keep them. If I find doubles of them, I might be tempted to keep them too, or I might trade them. I don't know. But anyway, that being said, that's my thoughts on that. All right, and then lastly, I picked up a Jada. I definitely don't pick up Jada very often, or this Metals Diecast. Does it even say Jada on these things anymore? Jada Toys on the back. This whole series was there. This was the only one I thought looked interesting enough to grab. I stay away from these the majority of the time because of the size of them. They're not 1/64 scale. They're like 155, maybe even like, they're like approaching 1/43 scale. At least 155, whatever. I mean, it's big, and especially for this 510, it's probably huge. It's probably closer to 1/43. Anyway, grabbed it because I thought it looked cool, and I thought it'd be cool to show you on this channel. So I will be opening that up, and we'll take a look at that. All right, so that's it. So sorry to get off on a rant on chase pieces and whatnot, but that's just my feelings on it. And I know some people just strictly collect chases, and that's what they collect, and that's cool. That's fine. If that's what you want to do, you hunt for those, and you go get them, and good for you, man. I like collecting real examples of real cars. I'm into that kind of stuff. That's why Kyosho is really cool to me. That's why Auto World is really cool to me. That's why I really like them. You know, if I get, you know, White Lightnings are kind of cool, but with like white tires and this and that. I mean, it's not really a real vehicle. Like, it doesn't look real. M2 does some crazy stuff with their chases. I'm just not into that. But they're great. They're fun to hunt. They're fun to hunt. They still give me a thrill to find them in the wild. So don't get me wrong. That part of it is a blast, and I do love it. I do love the fact that I am not attached to them, because it really allows me to go ahead and trade them without, you know, without it pulling at me, you know? All right, so that's it. Sorry about that. We're going to go ahead and turn the camera around and look at some of this stuff opened up and up close. Stay tuned. Okay, so let's start by taking a look at this 1973 Datsun 510 wide body and this JDM tuner series from Jada. All right, this thing is massive. It really is massive. Now, all the Jada cars have exaggerated features. They're all larger than 1/64 scale. Some look better than others. Some look not so great. This one actually looks pretty good. I do think it looks pretty cool. I mean, obviously, I think it looks pretty cool. Otherwise, I wouldn't have picked it up. I didn't just pick it up just as a comparison piece. I do pick up a Jada occasionally. And this is the only one from the series I did pick up, but it does look all right. So these are metal on metal. They're constructed very well. I mean, they're quality control at Jada is good. Now they're basic. I mean, there's some basic detail. There's not a ton of detail, but at least it's got headlights and taillights. You know, it's got a pretty decent look to it, and it's got some rubber tires. They're kind of more harder plastic. They are rubber, though. They're two-piece wheel. Scale 1/64. I mean, I don't even know why they would put that on the base. It's totally obviously not 1/64 scale. Completely not. Just isn't. And just to compare it real quick, I didn't want to do a whole video on this, but we're going to go ahead and compare it. So here is the Hot Wheels 510. Okay. And I don't know how well this is going to translate on the camera, but you can see that it is quite a bit smaller. And it is actually big. It's not really 1/64 scale. It's actually too large. Here is the M2, which generally runs large. But here's the M2 510, which is smaller than the Hot Wheels in every dimension, width, length, height, everything. This one's kind of neat. It's got the opening hood feature. It's an M2. You know, generally I don't collect M2, but when they decided to get into Japanese cars, of course I had to check these out, and I pre-ordered these originally. I think I did an unboxing on them and all that jazz too. But there's the M2 version. Looks okay. The M2 kind of like stock version. Smaller than the Hot Wheels. And then smaller still, we get the Greenlight version. Okay. So let's see if we can back that up a little bit and kind of show you them all. So I don't have any of the import brand stuff, so check out Heavy Metal 164's channel for that stuff. But my guess is, now the truth of the matter is that the Greenlight M2, both are probably closer to 1/64 scale, but both of them don't claim to be 1/64 scale. And generally I know that these run a little bit big. You know, in general, that's just the way that M2 is. It runs a little bit bigger than 1/60. And I know for sure the Hot Wheels is way too big. And I know for sure this Jada is way too big. Of course, this one, I've shown it in another video too, but this one also has an opening hood. It looks pretty awesome in there. I prefer the Greenlight over all of them. Definitely. Even with Greenlight's frequent quality issues, but M2, you know, has frequent quality issues as well. Would like to get maybe a TLV example. I think there's a Kyosho out there somewhere too. But there's a quick look at that. All right, next we got the GMC Vandura from Hot Pursuit series from Greenlight. This is a Greenlight casting I absolutely love. You know, I like big van castings. You know, I would like to see like Auto World do a van, but then I think of that and I'm kind of like, it's not really necessary because Greenlight does do a very good job at these vans and trucks and stuff. I'm not sure if I really would want Auto World to get into the direction of that, even though Auto World is my favorite brand. And I mean, I would welcome a van casting, obviously. It would be nice, but I think Greenlight already does a great job of making like a really good replica of the vans that they do. That being said, Auto World, real quick out, just throwing my opinion out there, I think what they should really focus on is 80s cars. 80s cars and European sports cars. I think if they did that, there's really no domestic brand right now that is like doing European sports cars like to the nines, like premium wise. So I think that would be a really good niche for them to get into. Right now you'd have to buy Kyosho or something to get a decent vehicle. Imagine Auto World with a Ferrari license, like a Lamborghini license. I mean, come on. If you don't think that would be cool, then I just, you know, you're probably just not that cool. All right. Anyway, here is this police van. We're getting off on tangents this time. Sweet van. GMC, it's got the light bar, it's got a lot of detail. As again, I love the casting. Any variation of this that they put out that's regularly available, I will definitely pick up. Just the way it is. All right, so there's that. And then what should we go over next? Should we do some Auto World Ultra Reds? Why not? So let's start with this. This is 1976 Red Trans Ams. This is from Auto World Premium release 2018 release 2, in all of its red, ultra red tire glory, which I already explained. Not a huge fan of it. It does look pretty striking on this all red car, including the fact that these also have ultra red interiors. Excuse me. It does look like it has a paint flaw on the bottom, but what this actually is, let me see if it's actually a scrape in the paint or not. No, it's not. It's really the trim paint. It's a splash from the trim paint. So obviously the trim gets painted on after the red color gets painted on. Look at that bird. That looks fantastic. And occasionally when you get paint flaws with Auto World, it will be that trim paint gets like splashed on a part of the car. Another minor issue with it is the wing isn't pushed down all the way in the back on one side. That's kind of a bummer, but the thing will display well, and I don't know if I can fix that or not. I probably shouldn't even try to, but anyway, there's that. So it looks pretty good. Should we open up the hood? Let's see if it's easy to get to. I'm always nervous opening up these ultra red hoods. Generally, I don't have issue, but you just never know. So pop that open. Looks pretty good. Shuts nice. That's what we want. There's some little goo or goop or something here on the side. That's a little weird, but there you go. So that is Ultra Red of today. And then Ultra Red of yesterday. This is from Release 5. So these came out 2016, 2017. 2016, I think, is actually when they came out. We'll go ahead and open it up. You can look at the production date on the bottom. Auto World's production dates are usually pretty close to the actual date of release. So this one is 2016, so May 30th, 2016. So here is this sweet looking Ultra Red. I actually really like it without the bird on the hood. I think it looks really fantastic and just looks really good. And the only thing is there's a little paint flaw right there, right where my thumbnail is. As you can see, it's got the yellow Trans Am logo. As I explained before too, there is a variation of this that has the bird on the hood. That one is the Walmart exclusive. Then there's another variation of it without the bird on the hood that is part of a different, well, part of Release 5, but the C and D variation. And that one has a different color Trans Am logo right there. And I just noticed something else with this one. This one suffers from crooked base. It's not bad. It's not like super noticeable, but you can see the base popping out right there, down there. It's slightly crooked, which is a bummer, but it looks okay. It looks like the paint is actually quite a bit darker on the one side than it is the other. I don't know if you guys can notice that on camera, but you got this side right here, and then this side looks like it got a couple more extra coats. Definitely darker on that side. That's kind of an interesting thing. I don't really want to show. Oh, hey, check it out. I just snapped the base back in place. So the base issue is now non-existent, which is pretty cool. That usually never works for me when I try to push those bases in, but on this one it did, so I'm happy about that. So now we got a really good looking car. So that is awesome. So what do you guys think looks better? That kind of chase or that kind of chase? And now when you look at it at this angle, you can really see that back part being up right there. Now I know I could perform some surgery on this and fix that, and I might at some point, but I should probably just leave it alone because there is a chance I could make it worse than it already is, right? All right, so there's those. Next up, let's blow through some Matchbox real quick, right? Let's do some of the mainline cars. So here is the Mercedes-Benz. You guys have all seen this casting before. It probably isn't too much exciting for you. So we'll just open kind of like these 3 that I got like right in a row. God, now that I'm looking at this I8, did I already get this car? I don't remember if I did or not, but it is pretty cool looking. These things do look pretty cool. I've seen a couple of them in real life. They look pretty neat. And then there's this guy here, this Camaro convertible. Nothing too crazy, but just wanted to show those quick. They look good. They look good. I mean, they definitely look good. We get, you know, front detail on this car. Nothing on the rear. You get the Tampa on the side. This one you get front detail and rear detail, so just like you want it. Very realistic looking car for $1. And then this, of course, is just kind of a cool thing. Just obviously, this is not to scale. Do they put scale on the base of this? It's probably something crazy like 1/100 scale. But there that is. And next up, we got the Best Of series. We'll go ahead and open these up. Like I said, these didn't come to my area pretty much at all. They're kind of difficult to open. So I'm just going to kind of open them all up. So there's a Dodge Magnum Police. Next up, I'm opening up the Alfa Romeo. So I was glad that SC Diecast had these. I mean, I'd have been intending on buying this set, but I was kind of just like holding out and waiting until they showed up in stores. So I thought eventually, you know, they'd pop up, especially since I have a Meyer in my area now. I thought for sure, I mean, like, we're going to totally see these, right? Like, I will totally come across them and just have it. There's the Bentley Continental. And then the best one, the one I really wanted, was this Chevy Blazer. So we'll take a peek at that actually last. So these are kind of cool. Now this is where we this is the difference between like the Best of World or whatever, or the World Traveler series. This is kind of the transition in between that and that. So it's the Best of Matchbox. They still had some Matchbox rear riders, but you see like these treaded tires on the bottom of this Dodge Magnum. Which, by the way, this Dodge Magnum casting from Matchbox is pretty cool, and I don't think they put it out a whole bunch. I don't think they've used it very much, but we get details, you know, in all the right places. Essentially, these cars have full deco. This has full deco. You got tampos all over where you want them. The light bar's kind of chintz. The base is plastic, which is totally fine. And then the tires are rubber, and they got kind of that treaded look. I don't think a lot of people were a big fan of these Matchbox kind of Real Rider-ish tires. So I know people were disappointed about this one getting those tires, but I still think it looks okay. So here's the Alfa Romeo. So you got detail, Best of the World, little shamrock there. That's cool. So I mean, the execution on the vehicle is good. The casting is great. You know, it definitely could have used different wheels and tires for sure. Not going to wheel swap it though. It is what it is, and it's going to stay the way it is. And then this Bentley, no slouch either. It looks really good. These are Hot Wheels wheels on this one. Again, you get detail all the way around. You got the front detail. You got the rear detail. Best of the World. And you get these Hot Wheel Real Riders, which these particular Real Riders from Hot Wheels are not very popular. But they're okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I think they look good on this car. I think it looks pretty good. You know, it's got tread on the tires. I'm fine with it. I think this is a nice looking little die-cast car. The paint job is pretty cool too. The way the metal flake is in there, you know, you can see it. It's very subtle actually. I don't know. I think that's a good one. But the real one that I really wanted was this guy right here, and it's just pretty cool. Matchbox Police Department Chief. Really wanted this Blazer casting, and it is pretty awesome. So this is on Hot Wheels Real Rider tires. Does it have suspension? God, it feels like it does. It totally does. Does it? Or am I just bending the axles? God, it feels like it does. I mean, it feels like it's got suspension. It probably doesn't. I'm probably just bending the axles. I'd have to take it apart to find out, but I mean, that really feels like it's got suspension. If someone's ever took one of these apart, let me know. I'm trying to like peek in there to see if it's got like the little bar over the axle. And I think it does. Now that I'm looking in there, I can't really tell, but I think it's got suspension. I think this thing has suspension. And if it does, that makes this thing all the much more cool. I think it's pretty awesome. So there's your Blazer. Wheels rubber on the fenders a little bit, but that's okay. Whatever. I think for a Matchbox, I think this looks really good. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But I'm pretty sure this is an older casting, and I think it's got suspension. It feels like it does, and I'm looking in there. Sorry to take so much time on this, but I'm trying to peek in there. Oh yeah, dude, it totally does. It totally has got suspension. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. All right, next up we got Johnny Lightning, and I only got 3 more cars to show. So we got this one right here is E-Type Jag from Austin Powers, the Jaguar. Replica featured in the movie, brand new casting, die-cast metal body and chassis. Bonus show card. Yippee. There's your bonus show card. I don't know if those varied, if you had to get like different ones and you got different show cards. But I don't know of anybody that really collects these. So there's those, or that. And then here is the casting. Would be cool to get this in like a normal color. It's kind of an interesting one, just looking at it right off the bat, because it's got a rivet in the back and then it's got 2 teeny rivets in the front, I think, that are probably part of the hood mechanism. Yes, they are. And then a rivet right there. So detail-wise, before we open up the hood, looks pretty decent. Schwinger. Wheels are skinny, which is appropriate for the car. And then it's got an opening hood to reveal some motor detail, which is pretty cool. So definitely worth the $2 that I picked it up for, I think. What do you guys think? It's pretty cool. Nice little example of Johnny Lightning. You know, Johnny Lightning, I collect actually a lot of Johnny Lightning. Now that I'm like, when I started looking through all my stuff, I'm like, wow, I actually do have quite a bit of Johnny Lightning. It's been adding up. All right, so here's this one, limited edition, 1 of 4852. So my guess is the actual release of Muscle Cars USA will probably be limited to somewhere around 3,500 or something like that, because they are releasing some of these cars in straight packs, and this is one of them. Again, if you don't know what a straight pack is, it basically means it's a case of cars that hobby dealers can order, where they're going to get like probably, I think it's like 24 or so of one car. And so they don't get the whole assortment, they just get the one casting, and that's why the numbers differ. So that's why this one, there's more of these out there that are going to be in the other castings, the regular muscle car release. Not all of them. I don't know which ones exactly are being released in straight packs and which ones are not, but I know for sure that this 80s one, 80s Cutlass is, and definitely a cool casting. Really cool. And I mentioned this before, I think in my last video, that Johnny Lightning has come up with a lot of different G-body toolings, and this is just one of them. So if you want to check those out, you can look on Wyatt's JL Index. You can kind of search through there and find all the different G-body toolings, but I want to say that there's probably like 5 of different ones, different cars that they make, and they are actually different toolings. They're not all the same tooling. So this one is awesome. Colors are great. Colors are perfect. Hurst Olds. I like it. I like it a lot. I might end up picking the alternate color up eventually. If I see it in the store, and you know, it's going to be hard for me to not grab it. But it's pretty cool. Maybe at some point when I have all of them, I will go ahead and show you all the different toolings of G-bodies that Johnny has come out. You know, maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe there's not that many, but I'm pretty sure there is. I want to say I know of at least 4. At least 4 for sure. This one does not have an opening hood. It does not have any opening feature. It's got this one plastic piece on the back for the wing, which I'm sure they've released it in both variations, wing and no wing. So maybe eventually I'll do a video on the different ones, but I think this one looks really nice, and glad to add it to the Johnny Lightning collection. And then last up is the Ford GT. So again, this is Johnny Lightning Collector Club. I went ahead and cut the edge off of this so I could open this up And here's the deal. So this just pops right out. So this almost makes me think that maybe someone switched the car in this. I don't know, but I got this really cheap on eBay. And the only thing I really cared about was that I got a mini example of this car, which is a variation of the Ford GT that I didn't have. And I'm trying to go after all of these Ford GTs. I want every variation that I don't have. Not every White Lightning, just every regular release. So I am glad to get this one in white. And eventually I'll do a video on all my Ford GT variations once I complete that casting. And honestly, now I've got the, I think I've got the tough ones out of the way. So the other ones should be fairly easy. It's just when they do pop up on eBay, generally people want way too much for them, at least more than I'm willing to pay. So you got to be kind of patient. And that's kind of how I am with all this stuff. And again, if you're new to the channel, I am very, very patient with the stuff that I pick up. Aside from Auto World, right? Or some new releases that I want right away. I'm still not willing to pay a premium for them. But for this other like older stuff, when you know, like, oh, you can look this car up and people are asking like $10 for it constantly, you know, sometimes it's just like, you know, I'm gonna wait and I bet you I'll find it for $5 or less. That's kind of just the way I am. And that if there's any piece of advice I can give you in collecting, especially if you're on a budget, is patience pays off big time. It does. It just does. Now, there is some stuff that you cannot wait on. I will be perfectly honest with that. There is definitely some stuff. Do I have an example of anything here that you cannot wait on? I.e., if you were an RLC club member and you didn't get a hold of this for retail price and you slept on it, getting this car would be expensive. So obviously there's examples like that. There's examples of cars that if you don't jump on right away, you're never going to find them as cheap as that ever again. And that's factual. That's true, or at least it'll become very, very rare to find them. But there are other vehicles, in the majority, I would say, of cars. I think now that I pop this base in, it's too deep on the one side. Try to push it in on the other side. Probably shouldn't mess with it here, but there are other examples of, I would say the majority of cars, if you wait and you're patient, you will find really awesome deals. You can't be jumpy on stuff. That's it. That's my 2 cents on collecting, but just trust me. As much as it may not look like it, I do this hobby on quite a budget, and it ends up working out pretty well, and the majority of that is because of my patience. All right, so that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think, as always, in the comments down below. I enjoy doing these videos. I enjoy reading the comments. I know I do not reply to all of them, or even nearly all of them, but I do read every single one, and I do appreciate your opinion and all of that good stuff. So all right, that's gonna be it. So thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great night.